Hello friends, welcome back to Take 10 with Jen, coming to you live from Wollongong. It is a blustery spring day today, but I always love the contrast that weather gives us, right? Don't you? You know, we get to really appreciate when weather is beautiful. In fact, my door just blew open and it's going to slam soon. So, I want to talk to you about the 3 reasons why we, mostly as women, but as human beings, we go for things, we try to achieve things, but then we don't do it, right? And it's freaking disheartening. It's really quite soul destroying at times and can really make us feel like failures and can make us feel that, you know, why can't I get what I want in life compared to everybody else? And I've been looking at this over the years, especially in women, and it's something that I talk to a lot of women about, and, you know, we can really drill down and really have a good look at what's going on individually for that person, and I love to do that. But I also want to come and speak to all of you and give you my top 3 reasons why I feel that, you know, we fail at achieving things that we want to achieve sometimes. And like I said, I've looked at this for so many years now, and I've kind of decided there's about 3, but, you know, I may come up with more as the years go on. So I want to share these with you today because it can be super frustrating. So, for example, you know, there's a challenge going at the gym. It seems really great. You know, we're going to lose some body fat percentage. We're going to gain some lean muscle. We're going to, you know, eat better with certain food groups. We're all gung-ho. We go into it. The first week's amazing. We're feeling so crystal clear, so motivated. We're kicking our goals. Then week 2 comes along and things just don't seem quite as rock solid. We start to, you know, different little old habits start to creep back in. You know, we're starting to lose a little bit of that belief and momentum. You know, by week 3, it's all but over. You know, by week 4, it's definitely over, you know. But everybody else around you seems to just be smashing it, and it's really quite disheartening, and you kind of think, like, what is going on with me? Or perhaps, you know, you want that amazing, juicy relationship, you know, and it starts off so well, and then over time, things start to erode, and things just don't work out, and you look around you and everybody else seems to be in love, and you're like, what have they got that I don't have? So I want to narrow this down for you. So the first reason is that you think that you're missing something that people have in terms of the things that you want. So you feel that other people have something that you don't have and that you're missing it, and that's why they achieve what they're achieving in terms of like genetics and talent and things like that. And, you know, for a good example for me is I have an aversion with maths. I've got the story that I'm not good at maths and that I can't do maths. So anything in life that involves maths, like calculations in CrossFit, or things that I need to measure at home, or things that I need to work out, different formulas and things like that with my social media and Facebook, I just think I can't do anything to do with numbers, so therefore I don't even try. But that's one of the biggest mistakes that you can really make. You know, it's feeling that at the core of success lies talent and genetics, and that really is just a farce, you know. What ends up happening as a result of thinking that way, that you don't even go for the things that you're wanting to go for because you believe that you are fundamentally lacking something that other people have, or you do go for the goal, but then, you know, you fail it, and very quickly you bring forward the reason why it didn't succeed, or the reason why you quit is that you were missing something that everybody else had. So it becomes like this you know, whole cycle of kind of self-sabotage and excuses, and, you know, letting yourself off the hook because it feels more comfortable like that, rather than actually realizing what actually is going on, which is that you're just missing a skill. You just need to learn something. And so that brings me to my solution, which is you just really need to adapt that growth mindset. So growth mindset is, you know, really the belief in your soul that you can absolutely learn anything in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And also the effort over time produces result. You know, it's not just having this stroke of luck or this talent or genes that you were born with. So Angela Duckworth, the author of Grit, I hope you guys have got that book. I've got it in my shelf there. I should have pulled it out. She says that contrary to opinion, success doesn't depend on talent. It depends on intensely focusing on a goal with passion and perseverance. And her research showed that there's actually an inverse relationship between talent and grit, meaning that they're not actually as related as what we think they are. So it doesn't mean that talented people are not resilient. They definitely are, but rather that they might not have an intrinsic desire to go beyond what can easily achieved with their talent, and that's why they don't take it any further. But what they do is they put strategies in place to deal with setbacks. People who have a growth mindset truly want to better themselves and think of how they can do something rather than thinking of excuses and reasons as to why they shouldn't. So my solution for you is to grow your growth mindset. So have a look at Angela Duckworth's TED Talk on grit, get her book, search anything in YouTube to do with a growth mindset, and that will get you kind of on your path. Okay, the second reason why, we don't achieve what we say we're going to do is that you think that people like you don't do the thing that you want to do. For example, if you really want to get abs, you don't identify yourself with someone who has abs. So you see yourself as kind of different and of a different identity than somebody who's super fit and lean and has abs. So it's all about identity. So throughout our life, our identity is constructed. It starts off by being kind of handed to us by our parents. Like our parents are constantly comparing and contrasting us to our siblings or to them when they were growing up, or the kid up the road or the neighbor. And so we hear things like, oh, you're a really good soccer player compared to Nikki, or, you're quiet compared to so-and-so, or you're good at art. So our parents kind of hand us our identities and we just believe them like facts. Like I do it all the time. I say to, the boys hear me say to friends or family, Harvey's the quiet one, Ali's the outgoing one. Ali's a really good sportsman, and I'm not saying Harvey's not, but by putting Ali forward like that, it kind of automatically probably makes Harvey think that he's not. Or I'll say Harvey's really good at art. So I'm already kind of shaping their identities and I'm peg-holing them into being a particular type of person, even though that's not my intention, but it's just hard not to. As human beings, we compare and contrast all the time. It's just something we've been doing since evolutionary days because it's a survival mechanism, right? We need to weigh up everything around us and see where we sit or our potential mate sits. So it's something that we just do, but we need to be aware that we give these identities to our kids, but then what happens is when they become teenagers, they start to move a little bit away from the parental kind of influence. They start to get influenced more by their peer age group, their teenage, friend group. And what happens is they start doing that comparing and contrasting of their own identities with themselves and their friends. And different qualities that they had, that they thought they had, start to kind of lose them. They start to say, oh, I actually don't. I'm not going to pursue art. I don't really want to be an artist. So they start to drop that away. Or, I don't want to be quiet anymore. I want to be more outgoing. So they drop that one away. And so they slowly start to construct a more solid identity, leaving some of the things behind and picking up new ones. And that's called identity. What's it called? Identity cohesion, which is what the famous psychologist Erik Erikson came up with. So that's where we start to feel cohesive about who we are. But that's a very tumultuous period for teenagers, right? They get so confused and they just wonder who the heck I am. So this is going into quite a lot of detail here, but I love this stuff. Hopefully it's helpful for you. So they start to create their own identity, and what happens is we start to repeat these behaviors until they feel right and they become us, and we kind of develop these habits around our identity. And what we do is we do anything to keep this cohesive until adulthood, when we face different scenarios and how we see ourselves can either help or hinder. So if we've become adults and we see ourselves as not being a gym person, well, when there's a gym challenge that comes up and that you see it, you're less likely to go for that one, and you're more likely to do something else like Pilates or something like that. If you don't see yourself as like a really healthy person that makes healthy choices around food, then you're going to continue that into adulthood, and you're going to sabotage yourself, and it's going to be harder for you to smash out any goals you've got in that area. If you don't see yourself as a confident speaker in front of people, if you have to do that for work one day, you're going to really struggle because you see yourself as not a confident speaker. If you get a sales job and you've got this idea that sales is pushy, then you're not going to do very well in that job because you're going to feel that everything you're doing is pushy. So the solution really is to try and focus on the kind of person that you actually want to be, and knowing that your identity is actually quite fluid, and you can become the kind of person who kicks goals in that area. It's not stagnant. So a really great thing that I talk to people about is just put in front of their thinking, I'm now the kind of person who. So I'm now the kind of person that makes great choices about what I put in my body every day. I'm now the kind of person that enjoys going to the gym. I'm now the kind of person that can speak in front of people. I'm now the kind of person that can do sales and it not feel pushy and inauthentic. Another solution for that is to find a person who has a similar identity to you, but who is achieving the thing that you want to achieve in that area, and then just kind of follow how they do it. So if you feel that gyms are full of like big muscly people that always have their shirts off and there's nothing going on up here, then find someone who you feel that doesn't emanate that, who's super smart, who's not showy about their body. There's kind of no arrogance there, but they're still quietly achieving their goals in the gym. If you really want to kick goals in the sales job, then get mentored from somebody who's really heart-centered, that really understands that sales is about matching a solution with somebody's problem, and you're not going to try and sell them something if they don't have a problem that you can help with. So hopefully that helps. The third one is that you just don't value it, and that's the reason why you're not kicking goals in that area. So you just don't think it's of high enough value, but you haven't kind of accepted that or admitted that, so you keep going for it, but it's actually just not something that you highly value. So therefore, you're just going to keep sabotaging it. You're going to keep hitting these roadblocks that you're not going to be able to get over because the passion isn't really there. Or you think you should do it for extrinsic reasons external to you, like it would make your mum proud, or you'd be admired, or you'd be able to do cool things with it. Like if you got that particular income or you got that particular car. So the reason why you're doing it has to be internal, so that it keeps you focused and keeps you interested and engaged and motivated. And therefore, if roadblocks come along, they're going to be your own roadblocks, and you're going to be able to get through them more because they're in your control. So things like, so what's a good example here? So I've had this example before. So someone was going really well on their nutrition program, and then their in-laws came to stay, and they went off track because they made up these rules that they have to eat exactly what the in-laws make, otherwise it's disrespectful. Like, I wonder if even the in-laws even told them that rule, where they got that idea from. But, that tells me that they value their opinion about their in-laws towards them than their goals. And that's totally fine. Like, why not? That's their in-laws. That's their family. We want family to, be aligned with us and to approve of what we're doing. But just admit it, and then just, don't try and kind of do both when they're both competing, or figure out how you can actually do both. Figure out how you can maybe stick to your goals, but not totally offend them. Have a frank conversation with them and just be honest. Another example is, someone I work with who was told me she was going to train 5 days a week next week, but then, booked in a tattoo to get done, which meant that it took her out of training all week because it would have, it would have hurt the tattoo. You're not allowed to, you can't stretch and move and do all that stuff. So, what's more important, the tattoo or her health and her training? And it's totally okay if for that particular week it is the tattoo, but just admit it and be open about it and plan for it. rather than just letting these things take you out of the game. So, or figure out a way that you can kind of do both. Have the tattoo, but maybe just do like some arm work that week or whatever. So just be aware that it's different, you know, different values are going to compete against each other all the time. And you just have to be aware of that and work around it and come up with a contingency plan, or just admit that one is overriding the other at that point, and that's completely fine. So the solution there is really, to dig deep, find the true reason why you want to do it. If all you find are external reasons, like it would make mum proud, or, you know, your spouse wants you to lose weight, but slogging it out at the gym doesn't work, then find another way to satisfy that reason, but in a method that lands better with you. So if going to the gym, you want to lose weight, but going to the gym isn't the way, then try joining a walking group or having, you know, PT sessions, something like that. So it's just all about getting that clarity, you know, digging deep and finding the true reasons why we tend to sabotage things, and then working backwards from there. Hopefully you found this helpful in some small way or big way. Please share this on your socials, or, you know, in a message to someone who you think this may help. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jenny Martin. I'll drop the link in the comments as well, because you're going to find a lot more videos like this in there, and I'd love you to follow me there. All right, thank you guys for watching. It means the world to me, and I will see you next week. Have an awesome week. Bye.